Welcome to beautiful audio events.
Hey, thanks for joining us.
Jump into the chat.
Great to be here.
This looks awesome.
Today, we are talking about Restream pairs, the best way to use the help of your guests and their audience to reach more viewers.
And in a nutshell, it's really the channels of your guests. So they could rebroadcast what you're streaming to their audience. And you might be asking like what the guest gets in return. Well, they get fresh and unique content on their social. So this is not just like some repost on social media. This is a live stream as if they created it themselves to their audience. So it's a very unique type of content. And we all know it's very difficult to create content these days. So with pairs, you can basically unlock a whole new type of content that you can deliver to your audience. Let me show you quickly how it actually works. So first, we're gonna take a look at the side of the host. So as a host of the stream, you're running the show. On any stream setup in Restream, you can just grab a pair link and share it with anyone. This works for streams run through Restream Studio. So that means if you're streaming from your browser with us, or if you have a third-party encoder like OBS, and you're running your show there, but you are still using Restream to deliver your content to multiple channels at the same time. Once they open your link, they basically arrive at a new screen that shows them who's inviting them. So that would be you in this case. What's the stream name? And then they can simply just pair their social media. By the way, I really want to emphasize that this is super secure, actually. So none of your passwords or account access is ever shared with the host. So let me repeat, the host cannot see your private messages or they cannot control your account. They really just are allowed to stream once this specific content to your audience. And the best part is when the stream ends, it automatically disconnects. So all of your channels automatically disconnect.
So we prepared a few very specific examples that are our real customers and real users. So let's dive in. Example number one, imagine you are a podcast, right? And you have guests, you invite your guests. That's the whole content is centered around the expertise of your speakers. This example right here is TBPN. This is a very cool tech news podcast with founders and interviews around media and tech and market shifts in general. Actually, highly recommend checking them out. And they invite guests of like variety from a variety of industries. But the one thing that they all have in common that they're very, very high profile guests. In this example, they are talking to one of the most well-known YouTubers, Casey Neistat, and of course, just in a week, I think, or in a few days from now, they are actually interviewing Mark Zuckerberg. So that's the level of guests that they have. The podcast itself has 95,000 followers on X only, and they also have YouTube and other channels. But Casey has over 2 million followers on X only. And of course, his YouTube is massive, and of course, other social presence is there. So when podcasts like TBPN invite guests like Casey, and they want to get extra exposure for their podcast, they could easily pair with Casey. So Casey could simply pair his YouTube and his X by just clicking the link and doing the toggle that we demonstrated earlier. And all of a sudden, TBPN gets this extra exposure through the channels. What's in it for Casey? Well, he gets unique content. He gets this unique opportunity to broadcast his interview where he shares his thoughts and his ideas with the host. It's very easy content for him to produce because he is being served questions. He simply answers them. And that's how it becomes a win-win. So TBPN gets extra exposure. Casey gets new and unique content. But what about offline events? Imagine you are running an event that is just like an offline industry conference. Great example is Saster, another customer and user of Restream. They have this annual conference where they invite entrepreneurs, founders, CEOs, and CMOs, and they basically talk about the SaaS business, right? Software as a service. And they have really high-profile guests and speakers on the stage. So SaaStr, as a company, as an event, is reaching close to 250,000 followers across channels. But their guests are super high profile. They are the level of Casey. They are the level of Mark Zuckerberg. So what if, when they invited their panelists, they could, in advance, invite their social teams to pair the channels of those high-profile panelists and rebroadcast those events, those specific panel sessions on their channels? That could have given SaaStr massive reach, of course. And again, what's in it for guests? They get this unique content that they share with their audiences when they do their panel, when they do their speech. And it's also live. It's not reposted or shared later. It is actually broadcasted as it's happening. And as Matt mentioned, since we allow midstream pairing, if one of those stages has 5 different panelists, it's very easy for producers of the event to rebroadcast very specific panels on very specific groups of channels. But I think the use case and the example that brings this home even better is the example of sports and media teams. MotoGP, another Restream notable user and customer, they are streaming live races as well as press conferences, behind the scenes, and highlights on their own channels. But they have amazing athletes, the riders, who have massive followings and big communities of fans all over the world. Obviously, it is very difficult to live stream anything when you are riding a motorcycle. I haven't tried that. I do not recommend anyone to try that. As a former extreme sports participant and practitioner, I would say it's probably not recommended. However, with Restream pairs, again, the producers of MotoGP could connect the channels of the athletes and rebroadcast the relevant events on their channels and get this massive reach. And on top of just athletes, it could be done with sponsors. Let's imagine somebody like Red Bull would be interested in doing the highlight reel or the final of the race in Austin, Texas. They could easily pair the Red Bull channel and get this specific piece of live stream shared with their audiences. Great value for advertisers, great value for MotoGP brand, and definitely good for everyone who is interested in motorsports. Our next section is the interactive moment. So let's pair your channels right now, because some of you asked these questions. Will this work in the middle of the stream? Is this going to be real time? How difficult is that? How secure is that? What is the actual flow and the process for the guest? Well, you can actually find out right at this moment. You can scan this QR code over there. That's one option. Another option is to click the link in the chat. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen real quick here, just to show you what just happened. And I'm going to refresh my home screen one more time, just to make sure I get to feature every single new pair that we have. And this is my host's view of the channels, right? So these are my channels, so the key channels that we activated to start this stream. And these are paid channels, paired channels. We have 24 people who connected their channels to the stream. I am mind blown. I remember we were thinking about will we even have any takers? And we did. I'm so proud. So I'm seeing the KLRN radio, Brody Rick. So also KLNR Radio paired their custom RTMP channel, which is awesome because that's a very
nice.
special thing to do. Technicom 360 Studios, Tom Stream, Wind Dancer Media on Twitch, as well as Rick Costa on Twitch as well. Rick Costa on, I want to say it's Rumble. Also Rick Costa on Kick. That's awesome. Shirley's Wig Shop. Hi there. This is YouTube. Imagine Studios. Tariq, who asked a question earlier, his YouTube is here as well. James Hicks with his X. Thank you so much for doing the demonstration with us. James Hicks' YouTube channel is here, as well as Leslie's Lessons Learned. I would love to check this out because I would like to learn some lessons from Leslie, because Leslie is awesome. She's brave. She rebroadcasted this stream to her both YouTube and Facebook. So this is absolutely fascinating. You guys are great. I'm overwhelmed. I did not expect so many amazing people to connect.
Thank you all guys for being brave enough and sort of restreaming the segment to your channels. We love it. That's awesome. So go for it, test it. It's there, it's available now. And if you have any feedback whatsoever, please let us know. We're always listening.
And thanks everyone for watching and tuning in. We'll be back, and happy live streaming.
Hey, I'm Charles from Restream. Let's talk about getting you 4 times more views with AI clips. When you stream, we'll automatically generate you some short videos. Our AI has found the most scroll-stopping moments with the biggest viral potential. So how's this work? Well, after you stream, your clips will be automatically generated, and you can find them on the clips page in Restream. Each ready-made short has a virality score, so you can pick the best ones. They're ready to post, have captions and subtitles, great framing, and the perfect layout. You can share directly on your social accounts, download, or fine-tune with our powerful editor. Start your free trial today, post a few clips, and watch the views roll in. Happy clipping. Cheers.
Today we're talking about AI clips, or better say AI-powered editor that helps to turn your long videos into shorts. So basically it's the best and the easiest way to take any stream, video, recording, event, live show, podcast, interview into little snippets and highlights that you can share on TikTok, YouTube Shorts, and Reels. So now when you enter your Restream home page, or basically your main dashboard, you will see this AI Clips new tab. If you click on it, if you already experienced clips and played with them, you will see your clips within them. So what they are is an AI-powered editing tool that basically take the bits from your long video and turns them into short vertical clips and adds captions to it so you can share them on vertical and mobile-first platforms. But it's also important to say what AI clips are not, because we get a lot of questions about this. So AI clips have no fake content. It's not AI generated. The videos in those short clips are only you. It is simply an AI-powered editing tool. All it does, it just helps you edit. It automates the editing process, and it does not add anything artificial to your content. Probably the easiest way to get started is to just upload a video. So we talked about how this could work with your streams, but you can also simply go to your clips page and then upload a video, any video that you have, and then once the upload finishes, we will start generating the clips for you. Once the clips are generated, you can review them. You can also do a little bit of editing, which we will cover in details later, or publish them directly on your social platforms. If you already use Restream and have Restream recordings in your dashboard or in your home screen, it's also very easy to generate clips. Simply go to your video storage, hit recordings tab, and there's a little watermark, kind of liquid glossy, that says AI clips on it. Click on it, we'll generate clips for you. Same deal. You can download them, you can post them and publish on social channels right away. Not Phil Sledge says, would you be able to add your own branding to the AI clips? Yes, great question. Love it. Yes, you can. You can add a logo on top of your clip after it's already made. And that's actually the best way to do it, because you can, of course, have a logo already in the original file, but it's easier and more, it's cleaner if you basically put it on top and you can design it the way that works best for you. So yes, you can totally brand them. Great question.
Yeah, it's like a whole video editor, so you can add some visuals on top of it.
Now we are moving on to editing your viral clips. You can edit your clips just like you would add a text editor, right? So you basically go to your trim, select the text and delete it or add it. And in that case, it will automatically alter the clip. So trimming is extremely popular, but even more popular thing in the editor is changing the layout.
We do this kind of smart framing for you with this AI technology, where we still kind of give you an ability to do this human touch, let's call it this way, where you can polish it. You can position all this kind of selected framed areas.
I know you are a big fan of creating very clean and very smooth and non-distracting visuals. So this is why reframing is a very helpful feature.
You can remove extra elements that which you don't want.
It's actually a very common issue, because sometimes we have questions, we have tickers, we have overlays, we have logos, we have branding, we have QR codes, right? There's so many different elements that you can put on top of your video. And when you are coming back to the clip, like they just become this like weird cut off elements. To remove all that, you simply recrop and get rid of all this distractions.
Yeah.
Editing captions is, however, a very common question as well. So there is a caption section within our editor where there's a way for you to come back and correct things like names, places, brands, and things like that. There's also style. That's another section that allows you to change how the captions look. So it's not necessarily editing the text, but it's how they appear. That's your fonts, your colors, the size, the position. You can bring them a little bit up. You can take them a little bit down. And that's basically how you can customize even more. And you can also translate your captions into up to 99, correct me if I'm wrong, engineers, but I think 99 different languages. Last one will be about B-roll. Alex, would you like to take this one?
B-rolls are important. Let's put it in this way. Yeah, so you want to emphasize something, right? So it will help you, like, again, visually give more context information for your viewers so that, yeah, you could be understood.
It's actually not generated by AI. There's a whole library of like actual videos and like actual themes. Yeah, so you can actually upload your own. I almost forgot about that. Let's go ahead and talk about posting. So one of the things that we want to also talk about is like the publishing and the distribution of the content. So, okay, you finished your stream, maybe you recorded a video within Restream Studio. Then what, right? Between us and many other platforms is that other platforms require you to download the videos from your platform, from the tool that you use to either stream or create or record. And after that, you have to put them into that clipping tool, and then you clip, and then you download the clips, and then you post them on your social media. With Restream, you don't have to do any of that. It's all in one tool. And once your clips are ready, you can simply select the platforms where it goes. We also give you some convenient sections where you can add descriptions and titles, and then you can multi-post them to all those destinations at the same time. So this is the development and product team behind the clips, the folks who actually build this with their own hands. Guys, do you want to introduce yourself?
Hello, everyone. I am Alex, and I'm head of product at Restream, and currently I'm working on AI Clips project. So my job is to hear your feedback and plan what we are going to build next.
My name is Guy. I'm from one of the engineers here, and I mainly do front-end part. Basically, the all user interface and user experience you're having, it's usually taken care of me.
Yeah, so that's actually my problem if it doesn't work. Because my name is Alexa. I'm an engineering manager here at Restream. So when it doesn't work, usually that first comes to me.
When will it be possible to publish the clips directly to Instagram?
Yeah, so we are constantly keeping our hands on the pulse of this feature because I know a lot of you are waiting for it. So, and while we are still talking with Instagram team and doing our best to push this process, it may take a bit more time, but we are monitoring it all the time. And as soon as it's available, we will let you know.
Rotation is happening. How it performs in Spanish. Ooh, who wants this one? Because
well, it performs well. This is a short answer. So basically, for the speech, it's around 50 languages which we support. So it cannot be necessarily Spanish. It can be Portuguese, French, Italian, German. So if you are creating any content in other language than English, you are still very supported, and you can create clips from most of the languages. Spanish language is also included in them.
Yeah, so one small note that I want to add here that we have settings for clips, and you can select the language in which you produce clips. So AI can detect it automatically, but just because some of the languages sound quite similar, it can make mistakes. So if you know that you are making content not in English, I would recommend you to go to settings and just switch it to your preferred language, so AI doesn't need to guess what language was that. And in that case, it performs pretty well.
Remove any last-second scramble and stress from your live streams because, like comfy seats waiting for your guests, this is Placeholders. Studio placeholders are a unique way to design your scenes in advance. Set up a scene and add a placeholder with the plus icon at the bottom. Then send the link to your guest. While you wait for them to arrive, you can get designing with your scenes and add a placeholder for any slides, videos, images, or anything else you might be waiting on. When it's time to go live, your layouts stay exactly how you planned them. No alarms, no surprises. Quick story, I was a guest on a Restream live stream and you bet we used this. Anya chatted to Matt, then when it was my time, all they did was switch to the scene with me. Then on to the next scene with my screen share. No fumbling around with tabs, it worked like a charm. So check out Placeholders for organised and predictable live streams that flow like the pros. Cheers.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to our show. We are going to show you a lot of cool new things that we've built. We had this request for so many different creators that assigning guests to specific scenes was very important to them.
Scenes itself adds some automation, and we experience this pain ourselves. So every time that we try to run a live stream, we still need to toggle and untoggle ourselves. So when Anya need to present, or me, or where we need both to be on a layout at the same time.
Yeah, super helpful for one of the use cases that you will see in the end of this stream. Actually, when we might invite some extra people, it really helps to not worry about like toggling them all at the same time and simply transition to the next scene and have them exactly at the spots where we want them to be. So one of the kind of visual improvements of Studio that we're introducing today is the dark mode. So we did change the overall colors in Restream Studio, so they should look a little bit more polished and posh. And mostly it is kind of like dark gray, blackish theme within the product interface.
The main focus is the preview itself. So how you are going to look in front of your audience. And we try to hide these distractions by like changing colors, trying to find the right harmony.
We would love to hear your thoughts on this. I know that there were comments and requests for the dark mode, so we basically make the whole studio dark for everybody. For me personally, one of my first impressions of the dark studio is that it looks a lot more professional. And when I create things with a little bit more color, just like our background with a little bit of orange here, it pops really nicely. The next update is also something that we received a lot of requests for. And simply put, we call it animated overlays. You can add GIFs and videos, MP4 videos, as well as other video types with transparent backgrounds to overlay on top of your camera to add a little bit of fun, to add a little bit of motion. And there are all kinds of fun things you can do. For example, we can get rained on or not rained on. We have confettis. So those are some of the built-in examples that you can play with sparkles. But the most important part is that you can upload your own. The next thing I would love to share today is the name tags. The beautiful part here is that with our new customized button, you can show the name tags, just like this one, on one scene and hide them on the other.
And by having option to remove it from certain scenes, it's just more convenient. Because prior, like if you want to toggle names off, they've been toggled across all scenes, and it's been quite annoying. So let's be honest here, and it's a nice improvement and gives more flexibility, and we hope that our creators will appreciate it and will produce even more professional content.
One of the features that a lot of our customers enjoy is adding additional camera or additional angle. Depending on what you do, this could be something that you would point at your guest. If you're doing like a podcast style show, it can be something that you can point at your desk. So extra cameras are excellent. It's just additional way to present your content. But now extra cameras got a few really cool additions. Number one is now they stick to the scene. So for example, if you want your extra camera on one scene when you are actually unboxing or showing something with your hands on your desk, you can have it there, but it can then disappear on the scene when you are just talking or taking questions and comments from the chat. And another really cool thing is that cameras now come with its own audio. So any extra camera can come with its own sound and microphone, which there are multiple different use cases for that. Let's go ahead and move on because Countdowns got a few upgrades. They now auto switch from the countdown scene to your next scene when you're actually presenting. You can also resize them in the freehand mode, and you can move them anywhere on your screen or on your scene canvas. So play with that. Let us know how that works for you. But we're very excited about this kind of small but mighty addition to giving you more controls over how your streams look. One last thing that we wanted to share with you is the new Air theme. The new theme Air is now available for captions, scrolling tickers, questions, and name tags. So basically in the design section, you can find this Air theme and you can adjust it for, and you can also adjust the font, but they work on any background. Like, so Alex's background is a little bit darker, mine is a little lighter, but with the shadows that we have there, it actually works.
You see?
Yeah, even on the
you
white
can
background.
see it like
yeah.
this.
Yeah, you can still read it. Absolutely. My last part of this stream before we turn back to questions and introduce a few very cool people that will be joining us today is a little teaser. So this is something that is not live yet as of today, but it is coming very soon. This is a super anticipated feature that we've been asked about for at least a year by all kinds of creators. And drum roll, come back to us, Alex.
I just wanted to turn around, but like I realized that the wall is so close, I cannot do it.
The wall is too close.
I just hit myself.
But the wall is not too close for people who are recording in Restream Studio, because you can record locally in addition to recording in the cloud that has been available for as long as Restream existed. So this means that your shows, your events, your interviews and podcasts can now get recorded locally on your machines, on your computer, as well as on the machines of your guests and other participants. Local recording means just better quality, so you're not dependent on the internet connection and like little browser situations and glitches. So everything records directly on your device, and that also means that if you have a 4K camera, that allows you to actually record in the full quality without browser limitations. That is coming soon. It's not ready yet, but this is what we're working on today. So we're looking forward to that. Stay tuned for when we announce it. But we actually don't have to wait for too long to welcome the developers and the product team behind Studio. We have Alex here from he's head of product. We have Sergio, who's studio engineer, and we have Matt, who is actually the lead product for local recordings, and he also worked on the pin sources. So we have Steven here. He's asking a pause and restart would be great as well.
I imagine like Stefan is talking about the record only mode in Studio. So with Studio, you can, of course, live stream, but you can also not go live and still record. That's already available today. You can pause the recording, you can restart it, resume the usual. But with local recordings, that will, of course, work out of the box as well. So stay tuned for that.
Our next question is from James. He's asking, can the host adjust camera framing in Studio?
So the answer, it depends. In some layouts, thanks to our layout customization, actually, it's already possible. So if you pick a layout like picture-in-picture and you put yourself on the main spot, you already can zoom in, zoom out, move yourself around. So it's kind of type of framing. But we also have plans to do it like to give an opportunity to do it like with any camera on any layout. So eventually it will be possible.
Can we edit the scene layout in preview mode? Essentially do it while live, but not so that the audience sees the adjustment. I actually love this question because I definitely feel that pain.
Very nice question. We have this in our roadmap, and it's something we plan to start working this year. If you want, you can drop us a DM and we will include you in the first wave for testing. The realistic estimation is like beginning of the next year.
In this particular question from the user, we see a request about putting chat as an overlay on top, or if I'm not mistaken.
If you're talking about just refreshing the look of the chat, which currently we have, it's definitely coming this month. If you're talking about customization with ability to drag around and stuff like that, we have this in our roadmap for this year, and we will be like trying our best to like finish until the end of the year.
All right. So thanks again. Yeah. And let's celebrate.
I am one of 10 million people who use Restream to tell their stories through live video. Restream just made content creation even easier with record mode in the studio. Let's say you have an announcement, a webinar, or a podcast episode that needs recording but not releasing just yet. Maybe guests aren't available at a certain time, or you need to prepare materials ahead of time for an event. Well, record mode makes pre-recording simpler than ever. And it starts in the studio. Either a brand new one or one that you use regularly. Okay, because we are reusing this studio, the countdown, scenes, custom layouts and media tools we all love are exactly as we left them. So up at the top right, the Go Live button now has a drop down and you can switch to record only. Off we go. Side note, just like going live, each scene has notes and you can use these like a script to keep yourself on track and on message. And if a guest needs a little extra time, or you need to stop to look at those notes or perhaps import a file or something like that, you can simply pause the recording and then continue when you're ready. You can even restart the entire thing if you need to. Now, this can really save time when editing because you're recording only exactly what you need. All right, let's take a stop here. And back on the home screen, in your video storage, you'll have crisp HD recordings ready to download for each guest and each camera. These are perfect for podcasts, presentations, social platforms, and even scheduling to play out live on your channels. You can also download transcripts, which are immensely useful. And look at this. This is really cool. You can even make clips for promoting your video before you've even downloaded anything. Teams are already using record mode to prep product demos, record interviews, and train teammates around the world. I'm told that one creator has even launched an entire YouTube series without ever going live. Since launching the record mode in beta, creators like me have saved hours on setup and captured thousands of videos, and personally, I've trusted it to record high-profile guests and testimonials. These were high-pressure situations made stress-free, allowing me to focus on the content and not the tools. Restream is built to help creators share their voice, and now they can do it on their own time. Try record mode today and let us know what you think. Cheers. A recent update from Restream means you can use the Customize button to remove names from any scene, whilst keeping them on others. And I love this. You can actually turn them off on your screen shares to keep things clean, uncluttered, and looking great. Give it a go in the studio now and let us know what you think. Cheers.
Welcome everybody. Hello, this is Restream team. We're going to talk about local recordings and how to achieve the maximum quality for your podcasts and videos, even if you have remote guests, people from all over the place, kind of like me and Matt, we're actually located across the ocean from each other.
Oh, yeah.
But our recording is going to be crisp and spot on because of this new feature that we are introducing today. So stunning 4K Ultra HD videos and audios for you and all your guests are now possible directly in Restream Studio with the local recordings feature. In this part, I would love to hear, like the origin story, like how we built this from Matt, because he was the product lead on this feature. We had a lot of requests from our customers to build this, and people were really looking forward.
Long time coming.
Yeah. So let's walk us through the story. How did that happen?
Restream has always had cloud recordings, right? And all of your streams are automatically recorded in the cloud. But with the cloud recording, the quality can go down because we are live streaming through WebRTC. And what it does when the network is going dynamically down, it basically lowers the bit rate of the video, right? What that means in reality is that it starts dropping frames, and it also can lead to stuttering in the audio. And you don't want that. So with local recordings, we basically record everything on the device, and we are progressively uploading it to the host. So regardless of how spotty my current connection is and what you might be experiencing, in the end result, in the file, you will really get high quality stuff. The origin of this story was that we were really trying to teach the browser to behave like a professional camera rig without melting everyone's computer. While the stream is being recorded in the cloud as a whole video, individual sources, so for example, my camera here and Anya's camera there, would be separate video tracks, isolated tracks, if you will. And local recordings can grab the utmost quality of our current camera devices and progressively upload it and back it up on our Restream service.
This is actually a perfect segue to our next kind of call out for this new feature, that local recordings basically come with the possibility to record in 4K. But it is not a trivial task to do that, because you do need a device, mainly the camera, that can capture in such quality. And when it comes to some questions that we got from our email campaign, at least I received some emails with people asking, okay, so does 4K recording means 4K streaming? Not yet, not at this time, because first of all, most platforms that I know of do not accept the 4K live content. The only platform I can think of, and Matt, correct me if I'm wrong, is YouTube, that is capable of that kind of quality. Anything else you can think of and that you probably typically stream to, such as LinkedIn, X, Facebook, Twitch, do not accept such a quality
it's
for
all
live.
HD.
Yeah, it's just full HD, so it's 1080p. However, having the ability to utilize the fullest potential of your device, of your great camera in 4K, to then repurpose the recording into little highlights, clips, snippets, best of episodes, maybe video uploads, and maybe something that you would put on your website. That is pretty powerful, and you can do it all from one place, from Restream Studio. And of course, it was a little bit of help from your producers and editors, but that is now achievable. Probably the number one thing that you need to think about when you are deciding between adding local recordings or just sticking with cloud is the quality of the video versus the power of your machine, right? That Matt broke that down a few times earlier, but those are the two main things that you need to think about. Local recordings are best for your powerful machines, 4K recordings, And when you have a situation when you do not want to depend on internet. So if you are recording with remote guests and people who are joining from all over the place and their internet might be spotty, the local recording will still be really crisp and good. However, it is going to add load on your system. While cloud recordings basically happen on our servers, but they do require a higher internet speed and much more stable internet more than anything. So it's not necessarily about like how high is your speed, it's also how stable it is. Because with cloud recordings, if you are dropping off for some time or you're losing your connection for a certain period of time, you're getting laggy and spotty, maybe you're freezing, maybe your guest is freezing, that will also be reflected on your cloud-only recording. With local recordings, that's not going to happen.
All right, so what you're looking at here is these are the files that you get when you download. You can see they're MP4s, and I've got these XML files. So I've got one for Final Cut, I've got one for Premiere or DaVinci. And I literally, here we go. Check this out. You're going to love this. Dun, dun, dun. Bam, done. Those are imported, and it's made me a timeline, and everything is synced. Check this out. There it is. It's all in sync. So I can actually take the show. I've got a main show record. Here it is. Put it onto my timeline here. There we go. So now I can cut between the main show recording and all of my guests. If I needed to chop around things, I can just choose whichever camera I want to use. And so anyone that knows what they're looking at here is going to be going, oh yeah. And of course, each stem is individual. So there's the main mix down here of the actual recording. And then I can cut around any mistakes. Now, I worked in venture capital podcasting environment, and there would be times where a company would say, wait, I legally can't say that. Like, you need to cut that out. This makes it so easy. I can just cut to the host giving us a noddy and then back to that person. Like, it's so easy to cut around. Absolutely. This is just, it's phenomenal. Here, imagine I had different people turning up into my podcast at different times. This is what it looks like. So this guest turned up, and then this one turned up, and then this guy left. I've mocked this up. This is not genuine. It's just another timeline. But you can see that this was an XML. You saw how quick that was. One other thing, you can multicam this. Of course, all I needed to do would be to nest all of this. But there we go. Once I've got a nest, I can turn that into a multicam, right? Once you've got that as a multicam, I can just switch between. Dude, that's so powerful.
I want to start with James. He is asking async or sync transfer of the files, meaning do we need to tell our remote guest to stay logged in until the file is transferred over to the host? We kind of covered that a little bit, but just let's give a quick summary.
This is a good question. No, you don't need to tell the guest to stay logged in. And actually, with Restream Studio, they don't even need to be logged in. So the way Studio works is that you can invite anyone, and they really just use a link. They don't need to have an account, and still their tracks can be locally recorded and synced and transferred to the host. The only time when you might need to have that sort of conversation with the guest is, again, they left too early for whatever reason, and
abducted by aliens.
Abducted by aliens, exactly. Then, if that ever happens, you just send them a link. It's a very simple link. It's something like studio.restream.io/upload, and they go there, and it just tells them, your files have been uploaded. You can close this, and that gives the rest of the things to the host.
Doc from LinkedIn is asking, is the captured screen share already synced with the camera footage?
Yes.
Yes, awesome. This was the shortest one. This is just a yes. There is a question about if the upload deletes the local recording. I know the answer to that. I think it's a no, but Matt, it does not delete it.
So basically, maybe exactly, yeah. So if that's on the device, then yes. Do we sort of clean up after ourselves? Yes, we do. It only stays there if it's in the incomplete state, right? If it's complete, it's no longer necessary, and it doesn't, obviously stay in your storage and keeping space unnecessary. It's not really like saved on the hardware as a recording. It's, sorry to get technical again, but like it's part of the data in the browser, but we then progressively upload them to our server where we stitch them together And this is how we assemble the recording file. And one of the reasons why we like assemble it ourselves is that we assemble different formats of it, right? So we take the data structure, and like at first you get a WebM, but then you can also get a MP4 and so on. So like all those files are really for the host to decide how they want them, when they want them, whether they want them at all, and so on.
On that bright note, I'm going to send some hearts to Yao, and we're going to bring in Dmitri's DJ set again. And thank you very much for joining us today. Cheers.
Thank you.
You asked for the easiest way to get studio quality video and audio when you go live or record. Well, we've made it happen with local recordings. Local recording captures the camera, mic, screen shares and videos of everyone toggled on in the stream straight to their computer in up to 4K resolution. That means no frame drops and no glitches, even if someone's internet is a bit spotty. Alright, choose to go live to your channels or simply record, then head over to the recording menu. Live streams and studio sessions automatically save in the cloud, but for maximum quality, make sure local recording is turned on before you go live. Now record or stream to your channels as usual. While you're recording, high-quality files upload quietly in the background to your Restream storage, where only you, the host, have access to them. Local recordings only capture sources that are toggled on, so anything backstage won't be recorded. Once you're done, a quick check shows whose files have uploaded and which are still in progress. No more chasing guests, they don't have to do a thing. Under the download button, select local recordings and click export to group your recordings into one download. There will be an XML file ready to import into your editing software, so no more manual syncing multitracks. Your video editor will know what this means and they will love this huge time saver. Local recordings are part of your cloud storage plan, and as always, you can find all of your recordings under video storage from the home screen. So that's it. Local recordings work quietly in the background, capturing every detail in crystal clear, professional quality. Now, go make something amazing, anywhere, everywhere. Cheers. Here's a quick one about getting more engagement and slicker design with a few simple updates to countdowns. Countdowns don't just give your channels time to connect, they give your viewers a chance to connect by jumping into the chat. Add to this the design and feel, and you're setting the tone before you even go live. So here in the studio, let's go through a few things. I've got my countdown loaded, and I can change the font, add music, and add a photo or video as the background. And as you can see, you can now move and resize the countdown any way you like on screen. This means you can keep your design clean no matter what's behind it. You can bring in your chat, captions or a ticker too, so it feels really alive before the stream starts. And of course, when it ends, you can switch automatically to your first scene, so you roll right into your show without lifting a finger. Your countdowns are simple, flexible, and beautifully designed to match your style. We think you'll love it. Cheers.
Hi, welcome to the stream. I'm Anya. I'm your kind of permanent host here from Restream team. And today we are doing Ask Me Anything with Restream devs. So without further ado, let's go ahead and take some questions. Will there be a Spotify integration for Restream?
Basically, it could be like not only repurposing to the like Spotify podcast, for example. It also can, as I know on Spotify, there is some music which you can use on the live stream potentially. If you can provide more details about your use case, we definitely would be looking into it, and we'll see what's possible to do here.
So I see Renee from YouTube is asking, feature request, an easy switch in Studio that allows us to switch between Studio and another RTMP stream. Studio people can talk while the RTMP content is being shown to the world.
We actually already have part of functionality for that. It's called RTMP source. So it's possible to just feed RTMP directly into the studio.
The second part of the question is about being able to communicate during streaming the RTMP to the live feed, but still being able to talk. So that sounds like a green room.
Yeah, I would love to be able to talk to our producer about what exact chats I want on this stream right now, but we can only use the private chat. So like that's all like very valid stuff. Don is asking, would love to have the ability to load new scenes with video during a live broadcast without having to leave the active scene. So basically coming next type situation.
Nice question. Thank you so much for bringing this problem. We are also facing the same issue as you, but we do have in our roadmap edit, which we call edit mode. I can't promise this for this year, but it's something in top of our list in terms of like feature requests and where we see a big potential and unlocking more use cases actually for Studio.
Do I need two Restream accounts to multi-stream two different types of streams? For example, one traditional and one vertical. So this is a dual output question, right?
So it's already in progress for all OBS users, and Alex knows better. Alex B, product. He knows better when it's going to be launched for everyone, but it should be quite soon, I don't know, like a week or two.
If you're talking about Studio, we also have plans to do that. It's something will be available next year.
Question about our setup. They have really nice web cameras. The resolution looks like 1080. When our streams publish, it looks like 720. I do have a DSLR Canon camera right here, but a lot of folks here are using their iPhones as cameras. So I will let you, can you wave? Who's using an iPhone as a camera? Okay,
I cannot wave because I'm not using iPhone, but still it's a phone actually. So
okay, so that's good.
But I'd also want to add that again, this might be the case where you want to contact the support so we can check your session and see what exactly is going on, because there is a lot of layers. And for instance, I see that the question was posted from the LinkedIn, and some platforms like LinkedIn like to transcode the video, and they like to transcode it to the point that it will look very bad.
Just going to very quickly take one more question from Aisoza, and it's, do you guys work with UGC content creators? We do. I would love to talk to you. Please connect with me on LinkedIn. So absolutely yes. All right. We have a few questions here about transitions. This one is from Tariq. He's asking, it's a feature request, Stinger video transitions when switching between scenes.
Currently, unfortunately, I can't add anything because we don't have any specific time frame for this feature, but I would love to learn more about this feature request, and please post them on ideas Restream.io.
And here is this ideas.restream.io. Please use it, because that's the best way for us to see how many people are voting things, so we can prioritize accordingly. So Tom is asking, would love more customization options over the live shopping feature? Anyone wants to talk about live shopping? We do have live shopping features already in Studio, right? We integrate with a few stores such as Shopify, Amazon, and a few others. So you can already add your products and goods and sell them as QR codes.
I agree with you that not a lot of customization you can do. Another question is like, how do you use live shopping? Are you like talking specifically about chat messages which you are posting during your live stream while you're showing QR code, or you just want to more QR code options? Like currently we have only 2, and maybe it doesn't suit your needs.
Yeah, it would be nice to understand what kind of request do you have, because maybe it's not even related to a QR code. So maybe you're looking for something maybe different, maybe add some platforms that streaming platforms that more shopping oriented, or more integrations with different stores, or again, so.
Yeah, I just wanted to demonstrate how those QR codes look, and they are pretty customizable already. If you have a link, you have an image, you can actually direct your viewers to scan the QR code and make a purchase, subscribe to your newsletter, or go to your website. So some of those are already, or like ask for donations, another very common use case among studio users. But yeah, we definitely would like to hear more about what exactly you're trying to achieve. And yeah, ideas is a good place for that. There's a question about custom layouts, which I know we already have. Will it be Alex or Sergio? Oh, here we go.
yeah. It's happening. The custom layout is kind of broad term. So again, it's curious to hear what exactly is meant here, because we allow, as you can see already, a lot of customization. You have a variety of layouts to choose from, but I guess there is also might be a question about true custom layout when it's not tied to any our base layouts. And it's actually getting even more crazy with like some stuff we are working on right now. I'm not sure can I mention it or not, because with that you can change the layout even more, probably without realizing it. But anyway, so like with the custom layouts, definitely we want to have it. It's like very much more pro feature. Again, so it's keep happening. You see, you can even reposition sources. And by the way, a very cool part of it is that everything of that can happen live, so you can always adjust on the fly.
I want to highlight one question real quick here. Out of switch based on who is talking. I feel your pain. Because this switching that's happening right now is happening very manually, and I'm the one who is switching people. So I would love that feature. So I would like to join and upload this question. What are our thoughts on basically making it easier?
There is definitely a solution. You can get an assistant who is like...
That's actually a good place to talk about Restream organizations and how you can bring a co-host to your streams to make it easier for you to manage everything. So co-producer helps a lot. So that's a good way to push your stream to the next level. Exactly.
So Rooney is asking, what is the best way for feedback on local recordings beta? Tested yesterday, close to perfect, but found one issue, would love to report. So for this type of thing, I think support team and our 24/7 live chat is the best place, because then they can actually look into your account and see exactly what's happening to you. And that goes directly to our development team, and they can investigate and improve if that's something that happens to everybody, or make some recommendations to change your setup. Cred On is asking, I have been using Restream to generate clips from my streams, and I wonder if there is a specific reason why the platform won't generate clips from streams that are longer than 3 hours.
Is just a limitation that we have right now in the system, but the general idea that it's already in the works.
Can we provide any details when it will be available for users?
Yeah, let's put a mark in somewhere under a month. It is still something that we were working, let's say, secretly, but we have it in the works.
Not anymore.
Not anymore, yeah.
The secret has been revealed. That's awesome. I know that we had a few questions about TikTok. They came from different platforms. So we do have an integration with TikTok, but TikTok, on the TikTok side of things, they do prioritize gaming content creators at this point. So you can apply through Restream UX and basically follow the prompts to connect your TikTok channel and then stream to TikTok. If over 50% of your content is gaming, you should have no issues with multi-streaming to TikTok through us. However, if you have non-gaming content, unfortunately, TikTok right now is not as willing to approve that content for multi-streaming. This is something that is their decisions, their policy. So what we recommend doing is to bring it up to TikTok as much as possible. So help us get there.
Hey everyone, let's talk about guests and cameras sticking to scenes. Now, you know how scenes help you create a flow, just like a slide presentation for your stream. Well, sometimes during that stream, you don't want every guest and every camera on every scene. So let's take a look at the feature that now allows you to choose exactly who and what is in each scene. And here I am in the studio, and as you can see, I am on all scenes. And if we look over at the thumbnails for the scenes, I've got the letter C just here to say that Charles is in each scene. And if I come over to all scenes here, I can click down and choose which scenes I want to be in. Intro, the current one I'm on. I'm going to show a video, then I'm going to welcome Anya, and then Anya's going to give us a presentation, and I don't need to be there for that. And for Anya, who is our guest, She doesn't need to be in all scenes or the intro or the video, but she needs to be in the welcome, and then she's going to give her presentation. So what does that look like? As you can see, Anya has now been added to these scenes and I'm not on that bottom one. So here's the intro, and then we click to see the video, and maybe we'll move that over. And then I talk to Anya. Hello Anya, nice to see you. And then she's going to give us a presentation, and there she is. Now during her presentation, she might finish up and I want to jump in, so I can just come over and add myself to her scene. And there I am. We really love this super useful innovation, and we hope you do too. Cheers.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the stream. This is Anya and Ellie today.
Hi. So good to be here. Like I watch this every single time because I'm usually the one like moderating chat and just like helping in the background. And this time was like, oh, this is what everything is looking like. It's so cool to be here.
So first of all, Ellie, can you tell us a little bit about your journey at Restream?
I joined Restream in summer of 2021. You guys were looking for customer support reps. I slowly went into more knowledge management stuff. There was also a point in time when I transitioned into content marketing and I worked with Anya. And then early last year, I had the opportunity to step back into support as head of support. So this is great to be able to talk about support on a live stream.
I saw a few questions in the chat. I do want to first, however, cover this question because to me it is personally absolutely fascinating. What is the hardest part about running such an ongoing, never-ending, non-stop operations?
The important thing for us always is to, as much as possible, balance efficiency and speed with quality for you guys. A lot of customer support education goes into that, a lot of understanding product updates, testing, and making sure internally we do our follow-ups to make sure that whatever tickets we have, whatever chats we have, they're treated in the best manner possible.
Glenn from Canada is asking, been trying for days to figure out how to work a Restream with OBS. Probably the easiest is to go to your OBS and then in the settings you will select Restream. That will prompt you to log in. Since you already have an account, as I can see, select the channels and then you can go live. So definitely check out this guide in our help center, watch that video.
You're gonna be able to just do it once. With our help, we'll be happy to help with all of that. And yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much for reaching out to support.
I'm going to share a little bit of love for support in here. I see Pamela York says support has been awesome. They are pretty patient.
There is truly so much empathy in there because we are in your corner and we are on your side. We want you to be successful with a product. That's what it's there for. That's why it's built.
I do see a lot of awesome questions, and I will take this one from Michael from LinkedIn. If you're just getting started with a streaming setup, is Restream a good entry point? I would say yes. I mean, I can tell my story. I started streaming when right around 2019/2020 when the pandemic started. I had no intention to understand or learn complex software like OBS because for me, like even opening that software was overwhelming. So when the studio product appeared, for me, that was the game changer. Like I was able to start interviewing people. I was able to start running demos and Q&A sessions like this one with zero expertise and video editing or any kind of experience. And most importantly, just tell my story and share my message with my audience. Any chance we'll see any AI-powered layout adjustments and auto-fix bad lighting or framing when guests are joining with poor settings?
Not everyone wants generative AI, and by all means, not something that you have to use. Other people are more so interested of how can I use AI to power my workflow and make things simpler for me a bit more.
Yeah, I think it's important to also kind of like pick your path and philosophy. And Restream is definitely in the team of AI is good when it's a tool, right? Like when it's helpful, like computers or typing machines, right? Or cars. It's not necessarily AI for the sake of AI. So we do want to honor the creativity and the ability for our creators to be unique and to create this unique content that is just them, right? So that's why you don't see a lot of generative, avatarish, voice changes, like use any face on your stream type situations, but you see a lot more tools that are just helping you get jobs done, such as AI clips. That's a great opportunity, great example of using AI to just help you edit, right? Like it's your content, it's your face, it's your voice, it's your story and your narrative, but we just help you to pick the best moments, reframe it, edit it, caption it automatically, transcribe it, and then you can reuse that content for vertical formats and to basically like work the top of the funnel to find new viewers and attract new audiences. Another thing that I wanted to add, you mentioned like if your guests are joining in and their connection is not great, the new feature of local recordings is something that we highly recommend you explore. That allows us to record, to basically ask their own devices, their computers, their desktops, to record the conversation, their voice and their audio and their video locally, and then very carefully upload it to Restream. So by the end of your show, maybe a few minutes later, you will have the local recording that was done on the original device, completely independent from the internet. And that is really a game changer for those who are doing podcasts and repurposing and really need the top quality. And that also unlocks the opportunity to record in 4K, because our browser studio currently allows up to 1080p, which is full HD. But if you have a camera that can record in 4K, local recordings allow you to do that. What can we expect new in 2026 from you guys? Yeah. So the reason why we don't have a roadmap is because it's ever changing. I would say that we already kind of teased that on our social media, and that's coming very soon. That's coming this year, is a dual output. So right now you can already use our free plugin to stream in horizontal and vertical at the same time through OBS. Another thing that we're working on in the same kind of realm of things is the dual output from Studio. So right now, Studio only allows you to stream in landscape, but very soon you'll be able to switch your canvas in Studio as well. So you will be able to do the same thing without depending on OBS and plugins. So Leo is asking when third-party overlays. This is something we're definitely looking into. So your question is basically like, are we going to build a marketplace where other creators and designers could submit overlays and like other graphics, so then we can offer that to our creators? I love the idea, absolutely. I think this is the best way to use the talents and the creativity of our community. Yeah. So that's a big thing to build, but this is not something that we are completely dismissing. We are looking in that direction, so stay tuned for that and definitely submit into ideas and upvote if that is something that you would like to do and if that's important for you. So there is a question about Restream being free or does it need a subscription? It is actually both. You can use Restream for free on up to 2 channels. So if you're streaming on YouTube and Twitch only, and if you're using something like OBS, free version is excellent because we'll aggregate the chat for you. You can stream in any resolution that you want. There are no limitations from OBS. And it's a great solution for gamers because you can stream your gaming content and obviously yourself with the tool and setup that you already have. You don't have to change anything in OBS. But subscriptions exist for people who are interested in more advanced and premium features, such as using Studio in higher resolution. The same local recordings that we mentioned earlier is one of our paid features. And the plans go up to business and enterprise, where you get a lot more. I think this is a good time to talk about our dedicated support and like what you get if you go up into enterprise plans in terms of kind of hand-holding and dedicated account management.
So priority, of course, changes quite a bit because, there is also a lot that goes on in the background when working with enterprise customers and a lot of partnerships as well internally in our company. So we're working very closely with success. What changes a lot too is that usually you will have a lot more support in preparation of whatever it is that you're working on. We will have information from customer success very often on what your setup is like, what we should anticipate, when is it that you're having a very big stream, what to watch out for during that stream. We very often also have like an open placeholder chat in place with you so that you can follow up before the event starts or during it if something goes unexpected. So you should expect a lot of more proactivity on our end and a much closer partnership that I think is very helpful for customers that have high stakes events and they want to feel that confidence and assurance that there is someone by their side, whether it means that it's their customer success manager that's on site on a call with them, or is a customer support rep that is going to be supporting them via chat. And also one big thing is we have senior customer support members directly assigned to enterprise customers. So that's also a big thing. You're going to get someone with a lot of experience with events of your scale and your size.
We have questions about what kind of cameras we're using. Currently, the setup is we have Canon EOS T8i. So that's basically one of the cameras that we have, like that's a DSLR camera. We connect it through Camlink from Elgato, and that goes into our laptop, and then we basically select it from Studio. So the reason why we need Elgato Camlink is to trick the computer to think that this DSLR camera is a web camera, because normally DSLRs do not function like that, but through Camlink you can make any camera look like a web camera. So I would like to really thank our moderators who were in YouTube today, answering questions, dropping the links, helping us out. And today we actually have a few of our support team
Special
representatives.
guests.
And Charles, please come too, because I know you didn't want to.
Everybody.
Come on, everybody.
Office opportunity.
Let's have this party.
Until now, if a guest picked the wrong mic or camera, there wasn't much you could do, except try and talk them through how to fix the issues. Well, now you can easily help. Let's join Anya in the studio and I'll show you how. Hey Anya, how you doing?
Hi, good to see you.
Now that's clearly not the right camera or the right microphone, so I am going to try and take control, okay? If you get a pop-up, would you give me permission, please?
Sure.
Oh, that's so much better. And let's do the same for your microphone. I'm going to come over and choose. You use the Scarlett. There we go. And say something for me.
Check, check, check. 1, 2, 3.
So that is so much better. Fantastic. Well, this has been great. Thank you so much. There you have it. No more awkward moments or tech issues you can't control. See and fix guests' audio and video fast without any stress for anyone.
When Matt and I were preparing this presentation, we thought about how can we tell the Restream story to this wonderful YouTube community at LiveCon. And we realized that probably the best way to do it would be through one example, one live show or one creator that became very successful on Restream platform. And we're just going to show you their playbook and how they did it. And hopefully that will inspire some of you. So meet TBPN. The New York Times recently described them as the Silicon Valley's new obsession. They cover tech news in ESPN style. So kind of news and tech meet regular interactive live streaming.
They literally took inspiration from sports. And for example, if there are, like team players moved between two teams, that's what they do when there are like these talent sort of wars between Meta and Google, and they are basically like fighting for the best talent. Or they're creating this memeable content with like polls and like kind of football cards, etc.
Yeah, absolutely. So they go live every single day for 3 hours on YouTube and other channels at the same time. As of right now, they are at 400 episodes in 1 year. So that means that exactly at this time, last year, the show did not exist. They experienced 15x growth in terms of subscribers on their YouTube channel only. I believe I checked them out. They started with about 3,000 followers, so very, very small. Their live views accumulate about 50,000 unique viewers per episode every single time. So every day they meet this kind of audience.
It's really about the consistency. If you want to do like a viral video, kudos to you, but maybe you don't have the best ideas every day, right? So for most creators out there, it's really about building this consistent habit. They keep repurposing their content, and currently they are at 10 million views every week on their short clips. So the question is, how do they do it? It really comes down to this sort of flywheel. They start with like a live stream, then they repurpose it into live clips, then they choose the best episodes, schedule them to go live again, and repeat. It's like a cycle.
So how does Restream help? What is our part and our role in this process?
They stream from anywhere. So they do have a production studio with all the fancy camera setups and so on, but they also go in the field. For example, when a company goes public on New York Stock Exchange, they're there. I think in a few weeks, there's going to be Y Combinator demo day. They're going to be live streaming all of these pitch decks from Y Combinator. If you have such a flexible operation, you need flexible tooling. In their production studio, they basically go live with Restream Studio. They pre-build the structure of their stream. They're able to, invite guests, but also if they need to connect through, a third-party encoder like OBS or Teradek, they can do that too.
Restream can actually ingest RTMP, SRT, HLS, WIP, and actually we're also working on enhanced RTMP. And TBPN leverages all sorts of these streaming ways, but since they do it with us, they land on the same channel every time, and their stream looks the same and consistent every time.
This brings us to multi-streaming. That was the core of Restream business when we started back in 2015. So TPPN started, they were pretty popular on X. They had quite a bit of following there. Then they started to add channels as they saw success, which to us is a really good signal and example that if something is working on one channel, you can totally start adding more. There's literally no reason not to multicast and not to rebroadcast your content with tools like Restream, because it just takes you one simple toggle, and then your content is exactly where your audience is.
Multi-streaming is at the core, but how can you grow your channel significantly? Well, with Restream, you're also able to tap into your guests' audiences. With Restream, these guests, with a click of a button, can connect securely their channels to this one specific stream. When the stream is over, it automatically disconnects, but as the stream is going live, it's also streaming to all of these various destinations. So for example, when TBPN is doing a collaboration with Shopify, Shopify can connect their YouTube channel. It gives them this great content that they don't have to really do anything for. The scale is suddenly incredible because you can seriously double your views like this.
We call this feature Restream Pairs. It's a very special feature to us. When TPPN just started, I remember following them very closely and watching a lot of their streams on X. And one of the things that they were doing was packaging this show as, okay, so this is the tech show. You do not necessarily, as a CEO of a company, as a startup founder, need to build your own show. You just need to be a guest. So think about it like if NFL football players, quarterbacks, would not necessarily need their own podcasts. While they do have them, they just need to show up on ESPN. And even early on, they were saying in the live streams like, hey, you can tag your startup founder or someone who is working in tech who we should interview. And they would occasionally even drop the links right in the chat and being like, okay, you can just call in radio style right now. We'll put you in, you can tell us what you're building. And I thought that was really powerful, how guests became that centerpiece of their show and how they thought about community and creating that momentum. And when you're thinking about pairing channels and rebroadcasting, a lot of people think, okay, so this is probably going to be too much work and too much of an ask for my guests. Not with Restream. You simply share a link, and it is very similar to Google Meet. People simply click one link and join you as a guest. And if they want to rebroadcast and amplify your shows and events or episodes, there's one little extra step when they can connect their channels. But it is super seamless, super easy, and does not require any downloads, any onboardings, or trading sessions.
And one of the biggest parts of the secret sauce is the community, right? If you want to build a regular show, you need to engage with your community. And with Restream, the chat is, of course, coming from all of the platforms. At the same time, they can, call out anyone, react to what they're saying. So they are really trying to bring the audience in, and the audience gets to feel much more involved in the show, and that gets them to return the second day to sort of watch again.
If you are doing live streaming and if you're seeing the chat comments, one thing that I always like to tell creators is definitely call out and acknowledge your chatters. Because we've seen that a lot when we're streaming with our own content, with our demos. The second you start naming people and saying hello and showing their comments, the chat just explodes because people see that you're actually paying attention and recognizing those messages and comments. And that's the best way to get the chat rolling.
Anya, tell us also what happens after the stream.
Absolutely. We named our talk Life and What Comes After because we believe that there's a big, important element of what happens to your content after you're done being live. We recently introduced live clipping. So this is automatic AI-powered and edited shorts that we create for your vertical platforms, not only after your live show is over, but you also can get them live in real time and then funnel the new fans and new people that they're finding through algorithms back into the live stream that is still happening. That becomes really powerful.
And there's one more thing.
There's one more thing you can do. Restream has a feature that allows you to take any episode and basically do another run, but you can premiere it in YouTube terms as live, and you can also do it on all social platforms at the same time. And you can also jump in the chat and comment and talk to your viewers. Even though the content is pre-recorded, you don't have to be, and your comments and your interactions can be still real time.
Exactly. So I really want to clarify that this is not just repurposing your live stream. It's also if you want to prepare, maybe you don't want all the stress of actually going truly live, you can also just prepare, upload the video, schedule it at the right time, and then just, Q&A to moderate the chat, for example.
So Restream makes it super easy for anyone to launch their live show. We definitely recommend to not focus on events or one-time live streams. Build a show that is consistent and that is happening on a regular basis. Have that time in mind when you're going to be live and have it always there for your viewers and your audience. Definitely leaning on guests. Guests is your superpower. If you know great speakers, if you want to collaborate with other YouTubers, this is the easiest way to create content. And with tools like Pairs, you can grow your audiences together. And never underestimate the power of repurposing. Shorts are super hot right now, and you can reach a lot of new fans and find new people. And of course, replaying recordings as live streams, as well as just create content specifically to schedule for later, is something that we highly recommend you try. The most important thing we want you to remember is that all of these things can be done on one single platform. You do not need 10 tools to do all that. That's Restream.io, all included.
One platform empowers 10 million creators to stream 200,000 hours of content. That's 22 years of non-stop video every single day. This is Restream's infinite reach in 90 seconds. Multi-streaming. Forget buying a supercomputer. Connect your software, toggle your channels, and blast the signal to YouTube, Twitch, LinkedIn, and 30 other platforms simultaneously. No software, no problem. Enter Restream Studio, professional power right in your browser. Build your show like a slide deck using scenes. If you can visualize it, you can stream it. Streaming is better together. Invite guests with a simple link. But here's the magic. Paired channels. Your guests stream your event to their audiences. One stream, double the views. The landscape is changing, literally. Meet dual output. Push a perfect vertical feed to Shorts while sending a horizontal version to YouTube. One stream, two formats, zero hassle. Can't be there live? Turn your pre-records into live events. Schedule it, premiere it, and sleep while you stream. And finally, let AI do the heavy lifting with Restream Clips. We detect your best moments and auto-generate viral-ready shorts instantly. Restream, an infinite content machine on one single platform.